Sorry.
Every time, it never
My
fails.
eyes. I can't wear my glasses on here because they hurt my eyes.
Hey, welcome back to another edition of Ego on Break. This guy over here is the Mississippi Madman, Logan Creed. I'm your host, Dynamite J. Andrews. And today we're just going to talk about some of the things that happened over WrestleMania weekend, some of the news stories that broke, some of the things that happened in Pro Wrestling Ego, and NXT WrestleMania, all that good stuff.
I don't know nothing about Ring of Honor, do you?
Yeah, I know a little bit.
Okay, I got to record it, so don't give me no spoilers.
Well, then we're not talking about it.
His ass right here on television.
So, I guess this should be a spoiler alert. There may be spoilers in this conversation. So
I just don't want to do Ring of Honor because I want to watch it.
Yeah. Well, I won't tell you that.
Shut up! I swear I'm gonna bitch slap you, right?
Hey, watch the language. So I'll tell you that there was no finish to the Cody Omega match.
You're an ass.
So I spoiled that for you. It ended in double
How
DQ.
did they finish?
Ended in double DQ.
Surprise wrestling.
There was like two.
Told you he's gonna go to that damn 10,000 seat arena.
Well, I think what I mean, I didn't watch them, just reading stuff, but I think what had happened was they did like.
Wait a minute, you ain't. Never mind. You read a spoiler.
Yeah, well, I didn't see it.
Well, Jesus.
I think what had happened was like the villain and Kota Ibushi came down and gave him like double schoolboys on the floor. I think that's what happened.
You know, he needs to do a chicken wing commercial.
Chicken wings
I'm serious.
from Hooters.
That'd be awesome. I'd go to Hooters.
Why don't you?
Only today was expensive.
Yeah. So
I do like the Hooters part though.
Yeah. So you like Hoot Owls?
Sure.
I take it you're a New Day
well,
fan
see, he's
too,
a
huh?
villain, and it's like his character is a owl too.
Okay,
Yeah,
so he could be the fourth member of New Day.
And Hooters.
I mean, if he went to WWE, he'd probably be like going hoo hoo hoo.
There you go.
So
Be the white guy
yeah.
from Britain.
Yeah, so yeah, so a lot went on. Pro Wrestling had our event, the Golden Path, and
Something flew by my head.
yeah, it was an owl.
Oh, fuck that owl.
So on your mouth today, we're gonna put like a PG-19 on this joker. So yeah, Pro Wrestling we had the event, Golden Path.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just get this kind of out real quick. Like, we won't discuss it a lot. A lot of things, I guess you could say, happened. We got to see basically a pick your poison type match with O'Shea Edwards picking Joe Black to face Ray Fury,
okay.
and
Confused
Ray
on
Fury
that.
picked Federated team member Chip Day
Yep.
to face O'Shea Edwards. We got to see who the winners of the Stir Search was, as during a fantastic match between Adam Priest and Orion Taylor, we got an interesting video on the big screen there of someone being attacked and forced into a trunk
Yeah,
by the left-hand path and Stardust. Come to find out, that was Shaky McMullen, which answers the question, where has Shaky been?
in a big daggum trunk.
Yeah, in a big trunk, for sure. But Stardust congratulated Orion Taylor and Adam Priest for winning the Stir Search.
Yeah.
When he started that, I didn't think it would be a tie between two people, but made sense. I mean, I definitely want both of those guys on my team.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, they turned him down, and they wanted to know where was Shaky at, and we got to find out where Shaky was, as he was.
They just saw the video. He was in a trunk.
Yeah, well, it seemed to be he was brainwashed.
Yeah.
Because all that we get out of Shaky McMullen now is hashtag look to the stirs.
He was saying something about stirs.
So kind of reminiscence of the days of Huss.
So he got fuzzy boots. He got a fuzzy jacket.
Yeah. So
He got a big bear.
yeah. The Grizzly, I think. The Grizzly Ursa Major. I don't know how all that goes together. But
there is a bear in the star somewhere. I don't know the name.
I think Ursa Major may be the Big Dipper. So Shaky is a big guy. So
Okay. He made short work of Orion.
he did make short work
Priest.
of Orion and Priest. But yeah, so
And that wasn't even a height joke. So.
right. I get it now.
Yeah, I know.
But so that was what happened in Ego, and we're just looking forward to the April 27th event in Meridian and the May 19th event coming back to Jackson at the Hideaway, where we get to see not only a new Pride champion, as the title has been vacant for a while. We had that 4-way match leading into that with Ray Fury, O'Shea Edwards, JD Jenkins, and one other person that has not yet been listed. We shall find out who that guy is the very last day of April as we release the match onto Facebook. But we also have big match coming up with Federated Champion John Davis making his return to Pro Wrestling Ego, and he will be defending the Federated title against Jeff Cobb. So we had Michael Elgin last year, got his tag partner in New Japan this year. And
Matanza Cuervo.
Yep.
On Lucha Underground.
And Matanza on Lucha Underground for you Lucha Underground fans. But Matanza will not be here, but Jeff Cobb will be.
So technically Matanza.
Yeah, a maskless Matanza.
Yeah, there you go.
So if you ever wanted to see what Matanza looked like under the mask,
ta-da!
Here's your chance. So I'm pretty excited about that show.
Me too.
But
especially since I booked it like a year ago when we was talking about
yeah. Did you book that?
Yes.
Oh, congrats! That was a good idea.
I know. Thank you.
So an idea from the man.
Second time we've got one of my ideas and booked it. I did the Elgin one too.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Who you got next year then?
I ain't picking for you. I'm gonna steal it.
So got that going on.
Idea thief, remind me of Roosevelt with music.
But did you watch anything over the weekend other than Ego?
WrestleMania. I watched NXT Takeover. That's it. I got Ring of Honor recorded. I just haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. I read the results on a few of the shows that, like the WWN live show, the WrestleCon show, Joey Janela's Spring Break.
I did want to ask you about a picture I saw. See if you know any more than I do. Jared the King Lawler hit Joey Ryan in the balls with a fireball.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know anything about this?
Yeah, it was a part of a match.
Okay. Did he sell this part?
I don't know that part.
Damn it. See?
I'm pretty sure the King won by DQ. So with the fireball, yeah,
area, I'd be kind of upset.
Yeah. So
it's a cool picture though. If you see it, it's awesome.
The coolest thing I read was Alabama Doink wrestled at Joey Janela's Spring Break Part 2 as part of the Cluster Battle Royal, which saw a lot of guys, but I think the two guys that most people probably would have thought about would have been Alabama Doink and the Invisible Man, who was returning from Cluster Battle Royal #1. But the Invisible Man won the Battle Royal. So
is this a real person or just somebody you can't say?
Well, he's invisible, so I don't know. But welcome to Cluster Battle Royal.
A real short midget. Nobody can see. No, looking over him.
He was in it last year. His name was Dink. Dink and Glacier was in it last year. This year we had Alabama Doink. So
we need to congratulate Little Devil, matter of fact, for making it to WrestleMania as a pancake midget.
Yeah, Little Devil,
or a little person. Sorry.
Yeah, he's a Mississippian.
Yeah, and
he's wrestled for us a few times, and he was a pancake. There was a lot of Wildcat guys during not just the Hall of Fame, but WrestleMania. They were the security guards that walked out Goldberg in the Hall of Fame, and then they were part of the conga line with No Way Jose. So just cool, I mean, hey, that's something,
Didn't No Way Jose basically steal his gimmick from the guy that came out with the bunny? What's his name?
No, but sort of. Adam Rose.
Adam Rose, that's right.
I don't think he stole it because I think.
But they had the same gimmick.
Well, he was doing a version of it on the Indies, like just like
this was like everybody's on meth and dancing. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is everybody's on tequila and dancing, so it's a little different.
Tequila's at least legal.
Yeah. So.
But I mean.
Yeah, it's not a rave as much as it's an old person.
Well, I'd seen him like 2 or 3 times on NXT because I don't watch NXT that much.
He came out of North Carolina. He was Manny.
Congo Lines in North Carolina.
Right. He was Manny somebody in North Carolina for like PWX, and I think he came out of their school. So pretty cool. We got to see Barrett Brown at the Hall of Fame. as he was the stagehand that got powerbombed through the table by the Dudley Boys. So congrats to the former NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion. And I guess he's moonlights as a stagehand for WWE.
They'd like to beat him up at WWE.
Who else? John Schuyler, who was scheduled to be in one of the Southern Eights a few years back. Matter of fact, I think he's the guy that got beat up by No Way Jose. So, hey, it was definitely
as long as you made it, that's what counts.
It was a Southern star-studded event for sure. But congrats to all those guys that got paydays for working for WWE.
The only one that didn't get beat up was Little Devil.
Yeah, and he just got syrup poured on him. He was in a sticky situation. So, but yeah, very cool for all those guys. There was another show that I actually forgot about to right this minute, but Matt Riddle hosted like a blood sport type event where there was no ropes in any of the matches. So, but I haven't seen any results from that.
I hadn't either. I know they did, like you said, no ropes.
Yeah, I know Logan Creed, Francisco Ciazzo, and a few other guys were in WWN style battle that happened at WrestleMania weekend. So that was pretty cool. Kurt Matthews, the Pump Patrol, I think they wrestled on an Evolve show or maybe the WWN show. Can't remember.
Cool.
Or WrestleCon or something like. Guys were out there, and Pump Patrol, both of those guys have been in Ego. Jared Wayne was in the Southern 8 before. Yeah. So, congrats to all those guys. But you said you watched NXT. You got the results to take over, right? What you got?
Right here. Excuse me. The ladder match was EC3, Killian Dane, Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, Lawrence Sullivan.
Lars.
I misunderstood. Anyway. And Ricochet.
Don't tell me who won. I'm going to guess because I have no idea.
That's for the North American Championship.
I'm going to say Ricochet or Adam Cole.
Adam Cole. All right. Ember Moon versus
Shayna
Baszler.
I know the answer to this one just because I follow John Thorne and AIW and their podcast. But Shayna Baszler won, right?
She put her to sleep.
Yeah. And Shayna Baszler is still the AIW women's champion. Like, she never got beat.
Okay.
So, she's double champion. So.
Then you had three-way Authors of Pain versus Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne versus Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly.
Adam Cole had a busy weekend, huh?
Yes, he did.
Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly.
There you go.
Really?
See the W from here.
Oh, no, I thought that was on the other
one. Well,
one.
Pete got turned on by Roderick as Kyle was actually making the freaking pin.
So is he joining?
So he joined.
Well, that's good. Cause if there was a fourth person, he definitely should have been that fourth person.
It was like the announce team, in my opinion, screwed this up because they're like, well, now he's part of a tag team. I'm like, yeah, but his partner was literally fisting to win the tag team championship. He stopped it.
Which would have made him part of a tag team.
But, they're like, but now he's affiliated with one. Yeah, I'd rather be the champion.
Yeah. Pay me the
That
big
was
bucks.
like the crappiest trying to save it ever. I was like, huh? But anyway.
All right, who else you got? I'm going to try not to look at your paper.
Aleister Black versus the guy, Almas
Andreas.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm going to say Almas.
No. Aleister won.
So Aleister's the new NXT champion?
Yep.
Cool.
And
congrats, Tommy End.
It was good. I like that. I ain't gonna say my favorite. Yeah, I'd probably say that was my favorite because that was the only singles match besides the next one.
Right.
Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa.
I know, going into it, I heard everybody was predicting that Ciampa was gonna win and Gargano was gonna go on to WWE. So I'm gonna guess that same thing.
You're wrong.
Really?
Yep.
So Johnny Wrestling won, huh?
Johnny won. He took Ciampa's knee brace, put it to his face, and yanked back on it.
Oh, wow. So does that mean Ciampa's gone from NXT? When did a loser leaves town type thing?
He got his contract back.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So now they get to feud more and go into a cage and all this other stuff.
That's cool, man. I'm.
It was a good match, but it was one of those kind that just kind of went on and on and on and on and
it was
on and on.
Two minutes too long.
Not 2, shit.
So,
Sorry, I like long matches, but
it's not always needed.
no, I mean, and it was good. It was long.
Yeah.
It was kind of like I was telling you, Roman Reigns and Brock. Like, it was so long and just so repetitive because it was literally like 2 moves over and over and over.
Didn't Roman get hit with like 37 F5s or something?
It was 6.
6.
And all year long, like, Brock's been hitting everybody with 1.
Yeah. Well, you know.
I know, it's Mania. You kick out of at least 1, not 6. The crowd was chanting, "This is BS. This is awful."
Roman Reigns is so over, man.
He's not. I told you. He has the wrong kind of heat.
I'm telling you, like, it's like we want him to be heel.
No, I don't want him there.
But we want him to be cool heel, so we're gonna boo him because he's not the type of heel we want. So, like, way to go, Roman, for being a different type of heel.
Jim Cornette said when he had New Jack down at Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and he went out there and he was cutting the promos that were pretty,
Yeah, pretty graphic.
they were. And he was talking about, "I'll eat watermelon, I'll drink Kool-Aid, and I'll still kick your..." And he said, like, we had people wanting to kill him. He's like, "This is the wrong kind of heat. These people hate him." And I think it's the same kind of heat.
I don't know if it is because, I mean, it's one of those things where if you hate something, you're not going to support it, and they're definitely supporting him.
Yeah.
You know, I just think it's one of them. We want him heel, but we don't get our way, so we're going to boo him, even though y'all are booking. Even though he's a heel.
And like people were mad that Brock won because like they were wrong on their couch booking.
Yeah. We don't want Brock to win, but if Roman would have won, it would have been like, we told you he was going to win. They just pushed it down your throat.
So technically, I did win that match because I did choose Brock, but you still won by 1 match.
Okay. So, I get to put pie in your face,
yeah,
right?
next week.
Yeah, awesome.
I didn't have time to go get one today. But
so, hey, if you want to give us some ideas of what I can smash in his face since he's this makes you 4 times?
I don't know. I know I'm tired of losing.
You should just pick everybody I pick, and then you'll be okay.
Hell, in all honesty, I thought Roman would go over. I mean, it's usually WWE. They're trying to please all the fans.
Yep. So,
and then Nakamura turning heel was probably the biggest surprise to me at WWE.
Oh yeah.
Mania, because he hit him in the testicle so hard.
Well,
he literally lifted him off the ground.
Poor thing, glad he's finished having kids. Did you watch the Battle Royals?
Unfortunately, I watched the women's. It was awful.
Was there any like surprises, people in it?
There was a couple of NXT girls. Like I said, I don't watch NXT.
Yeah.
I don't know their names.
But wasn't like no old timers or anything like that?
No.
And you didn't watch the Andre the Giant thing?
No, I was at work. I got in after Matt Hardy.
Matt Hardy.
And damn it, who was the guy you picked for Daniel Bryan to work against if he wasn't working his match? Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
He won the cruiserweight belt.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see the match either, but
very cool.
But that's the 2 matches that I did not see at Mania.
Cedric Alexander was one of those guys. Like I almost had him for the Southern 8.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like I had booked him in like March for November, and then like it gets to like August, September, I'm hitting him up trying to get him, and I couldn't get him to like respond back to the messages. And then like 3 months later, he was signed to WWE. So I'm like,
that's why I didn't answer.
I don't know why you didn't answer. So it would have been very cool,
I guess the 2 I was looking forward to, which was AJ and Nakamura, and then Daniel coming back.
Yeah,
they were both decent matches.
Right.
Daniel won. You got the knee to the face and the yes.
Yeah. So.
I mean,
all pretty standard.
It was like a swerve Mania, honestly. There were a lot of endings that I didn't see coming.
Well, that's good,
though. Asuka lost. And I still think a dominant champion to, how are you going to beat this champion would have been an awesome storyline.
Well, I think they're giving that to Nia Jax, so you can't have 2 dominant champions.
She's been beat like a gazillion times by people that she shouldn't have lost to.
But now she's the champion, so she won't get beat. I mean, the title always adds in that.
Like the best thing about Goldberg getting the championship, which they screwed up at the end, was like who's going to take the championship off the undefeatable, and then they hit him with a shock stick. So,
this is not a disc at Asuka, but like Goldberg was either the same size or bigger than most
I get
guys,
it,
and Asuka's really not.
No, she's pretty small.
That's what I'm saying. So even like some of the smaller people in WWE, like she's still smaller, you know.
And dude, I don't know who the hell's the announcer at NXT. This dude's like 6'8" or 6'10". He's taller than everybody.
It's me. That's me.
Bruh, I was pointing out to Daryl. I said, "Look how tall this damn announcer is."
I was a ring announcer.
Has like the perfect announcer's voice, but I mean, he's huge.
How'd I do at Ego? Give me
did good.
1 to 5. What I get?
I could understand you.
1 to 5.
You weren't out there talking about rodeos.
1 to 5. What I get?
I'm gonna give you at least 3.5.
3.5. 3 3.75.
I'll give you 3.5.
So,
You was almost as a,
if it'd been in Tokyo, it'd been 4.
you'd have bounced like Andrew. You'd got a 4.
Andrew bounces.
Remember he hops when he gets in the ring.
Hop, hop. All right. So, you got anything to plug? Anything coming up?
Need some hair plugs.
Yeah, you do too over
So
there.
I know mine's in the back, but you can't see mine.
See, I just do my hand like this.
Well, you got some wrestling shows coming up.
Well, so you don't you?
Yeah, we got one the 21st of April.
April 21st. Where's that at?
Damn it, Lucky what?
Lucky Town Brewery.
Lucky Town. I swear.
I should just.
I
check
can
this.
remember Lucky, and I can't remember Town. I don't know why. I've been getting the itch now.
Yeah,
but
something you never are. Obviously, because you.
I did want to ask you about one other match before we go.
Right.
It wasn't a match, but it was a show. But the Lucha versus Impact. Do you know anything about that?
I do not.
I got it recorded. I
do
have
not.
seen it.
I do
yet.
want to see it.
Okay.
We'll
talk about it next time.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, because there's so much, man, that happened.
No, it was too,
Can't
but
really
like
cover it all.
I'd completely forgot about it. And Daryl happened to ask me, he's like, "What'd you find out about it?" And I'm like, "Oh hell, I forgot about that." And he found
Like
it.
I started
and we got
watching it
recorded.
on my Twitch app, but because I live in the woods, you know, pretty much anything that streams doesn't work.
Yeah.
So what I got was I got like the intro and all that stuff, which was very cool. Heard all that, and then as soon as like the show actually started, Moose was coming out and no volume, and so when he went to step into the ring and my stuff froze. So I waited a few minutes and it didn't come back on. So I was like, screw it. So that was the one thing I was gonna watch, but I didn't get to see any
Well,
of
you
it.
know, Del Rio's gone.
Good.
He no-showed.
Good.
And they fired him.
Good. They'll
So.
bring him back in 3 days. He's been fired 8 times.
I'm just saying. That's what they said.
Like,
And I did want to say this about Raw. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn come out to Kurt Angle,
Yeah.
and he said, "We only have one spot open, but I do hear TNA's hiring."
TNA, sorry, I popped huge.
I was like, "Holy crap!"
And I think that just cements the fact that WWE's like, yeah, they'll never be competition.
No,
You know,
no
which
more
is,
competition for Ring of Honor.
yeah, for sure. And Lucha Underground and, you know, that kind of thing. Like, they're definitely like, you know, WWE's 1, New Japan's 2, everybody else is 3, you know. And it's fight for who's going to be 3 this week.
Yeah.
So super cool.
But I did like the idea of Lucha Underground versus.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. So they wound up doing a 3-way. It's Aries, Pentagon, and Phoenix.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Very cool. Yeah, I had to check that out. I know Jeff Cobb. He was down at WrestleCon, like all the wrestling shows down there this weekend. He worked a couple big matches, so check those out too. Just kind of do your homework on Jeff Cobb, so you'll be prepared for May 19th.
19th, you say?
Yeah, May 19th. And if you don't believe us that May 19th is an important date, just ask Kane, because I mean it means a lot to him too. So
And that's when he put out his first movie.
so you know, he had the whole thing where May 19th, May 19th.
Yes, I do remember.
So
Unfortunately. And
But
then
yeah.
he was undefeatable.
yeah, so May 19th, there may or may not be a fake Kane there. But May 19th, Jackson, Mississippi, Pat's Pride 5, Jeff Cobb, John Davis, Federated Championship. We crown a new Pride champion as it's been vacant for a while. We get to see Stardust and his Ursa Major will take on Adam Priest and Orion Taylor. Path of Nightmares.
Wait, he's going to have a handicap match?
It's a tag match.
What's tag? Oh, so
Stardust.
Stardust is going to wrestle?
The world's greatest wrestler that had never wrestled will wrestle. So we will find out if Stardust will wrestle and can wrestle, and if he is the world's greatest.
I want to see a purple Conrana.
So, well, I mean, he does have a wing. You know, that's all I'm going to say. So, if you want to see Stardust like fly around in a circle, because he only has one wing, come check that out. But Stardust and his Ursa Major takes on Adam Priest or Ryan Taylor.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Cavemen and the Path of Nightmares, Eric Silva, Nightmare known as Jeremiah. They will find out who's going to become the newest tag champion. And all that and much, much more, May 19th.
Cool.
Path to Pride 5. April 27th, Eagle Mania. We debut in Meridian at the MCC Community Center. No, MCC College, MCC Delaney Center. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Initials.
Yeah, and then you guys got Lucky Town Brewery, April 21st.
Yeah, April 21st.
And hey, if you can't make it to May 19th in Jackson, if you're like too far out of the country and you do want to watch wrestling and it's super good and you want to watch it, go check out our friends at BIW down in Brookhaven. They've got a big event down there, and it's for sure going to be off the chain because we only associate with quality. So check all that out, and next week, see you when he gets pie in the face. Later.